Today's topic is important to me, and I hope it's important to you too, because what I want to talk to you about is conquering your camera confidence and helping you create a much more powerful presence when you're creating video content for your website or your social media feed. Hi, I'm Leslie Fiorenzo, and I want to give you 7 tips to think about as you create content and step into your camera presence. First, smile. Before you even hit record, smiling is really important. You want to be able to make a solid connection with your audience, and smiling helps you do that. Even if you are an audience member, smiling can be really helpful. It doesn't have to be a big toothy grin, but if you have a slight curve to your lips, you seem much more approachable than we're serious. Next thing I want you to think about is your posture. I'm certain your mother encouraged you to stand up straight, sit up straight, or don't slouch. I know mine did. Well, the same is true when we're on camera. Having both feet on the floor, no matter if we're seated or standing, is a useful tool to help us with our posture and our confidence. Next tip, I want you to think about your camera position. So it might be a little easier in your phone than on a computer. It doesn't matter. Check your background. I have seen people record videos in front of an unmade bed, in front of a pile of dirty dishes on their kitchen counter. It's just so interesting to me, people's backgrounds. Now, if you don't have a great background, if your office is cluttered, maybe a virtual background is appropriate. I know I have a couple colleagues that just because of their office location in their home feel like a virtual background gives a better impression than their real background. It is your choice, but know it is reflective of how you're showing up. So make sure that you are centered in the screen and that you have a really good background that's not too busy and doesn't put yourself in a great light. Then connect and engage with your audience. It's not about just making a recording, it's about having a conversation. And if you are really nervous, maybe you think about your best friend on the other side of that camera and just talk to your best friend. Have a conversation. Because after all, I think that's what video is all about, is having a conversation, sharing information that we feel is valuable with our right fit client. Then know that mistakes are going to happen. It's not about being perfect. It's about leveling up, striving for excellence, but be aware that if you're striving for perfection, it can cause you to redo and spend a lot of time retaking when it's not necessary. And I know when I first started, I'd spend a couple hours creating a 4-minute video. Not worth the time and energy and effort it takes to do that. So run through it a couple times, practice, say it out loud. I think that's a huge thing about practicing, no matter the length of your presentation, whether it's a 30-second clip or an hour-long workshop. Saying the words out loud can be really helpful. Then tell stories. We as humans love stories. Stories are not just for kids, and stories are somewhat in our DNA. I mean, you think about early peoples, and before the printing press was invented, how we shared information was by story. Stories were handed down generation after generation. Today, that is still some degree true. So tell a story, share an insight, share a success story about your client and how what you did made a difference in their lives. People really like to hear about stories. Now, the last tip I want to share with you is practice. Practice is not about perfection. Practice is about progress. So the more you do something, the better you get. And the first time you do something probably won't be great. That's true of anything we're learning. Anytime we do something new, it takes practice. I mean, think back to when you were learning skills as a kid. The first time you rode a bike, Bet you fell a few times, right? Had some scuffed knees. Well, the first time you created a video, maybe you had to erase it and start over a few times. And maybe you look at what people are posting now and they are super polished and professional. Well, go back to their first few podcasts. Go back to the first few videos on their YouTube channel. Go look at the first few videos I posted. I hope you will see a big difference between a year ago and today. So, friends, I want to encourage you to think about just getting out there and doing it, just getting started creating, using your phone, if that makes the most sense. Maybe it's your computer, maybe it's your iPad, whatever device you have that is simple for you to use, that it's easy for you to use, so that you can start creating the content that I know your right fit client wants to hear. If somebody you know could benefit from this video, feel free to share it. If you have not subscribed to my channel, I want to invite you to do that. And as always, you're welcome to make a comment in the comment section below. I'd love your feedback, and hopefully you will take a few of these tips and implement them. I want to know how it goes. So we'll see you next time.